Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Launch Coach Football. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea.
The now happy birthday, the newly, well, I'm not going to say your age, but the ha late happy birthday to our Chelsea, who turned So happy birthday.
Wow, thanks so much, guys. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. It
Still,
was my birthday.
still,
Yay.
still got the Trader Joe's chocolate.
Oh, yep, snacking as usual.
Oh man, speaking of snacking, a lot of teams been eating today, this week. Yeah, free agency started and it was just chum in the waters and every team's a piranha because who hasn't been signed at this point?
A lot of people still, honestly.
Actually, a good point. There's still a lot of people, but there's been a lot more crazy signings, crazy trades. Yeah,
I think
it's
there's been more depth pieces that have been signed faster than normal. I think that's why it feels like there's been more guys who have been signed. Because there's still quite a few top end free agents that haven't been signed yet, but there have been a lot of like rotational guys that have been signed, and normally that's not until like day two or day three. So maybe that feels like it's been way more than usual.
maybe that's the case. That could be the case. It's just been getting updates on my phone every 5 seconds. Just
I know.
like
It's
like two
crazy.
like two is going this. Okay, look, let's just start out with this. What do you think was the one that kind of stunned you a bit? Like, has there been like a signing or a move that's just like, wow, I can't believe that happened?
I mean, I don't think the Tua move was really that surprising. There were talks about that. Probably one of my favorite moves outside of my own team. I really liked Tyler Linderbaum to the Raiders. I thought that that was pretty surprising. They had to shell out for him for sure, but I did like him going. Ravens had a tough day. They lost Isaiah Likely as well to the
Yeah.
Giants, which I also really liked. I would have loved to see him on the Panthers. Speaking of the Panthers, shelling out what they did to Jalen Phillips, that was probably the most shocking one for me, considering the money that they gave up. It was 4 years, 120 million, which it's free agency. You have to overpay to get anyone. So I won't say that it was a deal that necessarily was equal to his value per se, but I do think he's a good player and I think he'll be good on that team. It's just, Panthers fans' first reactions, like my husband was like, wow, we could have Brian Burns for less than that. And it's like, fair point.
I
So,
still have scars. Still have scars.
yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty surprising. I really liked that one. Um, I honestly, like I mentioned earlier, the Isaiah Likely, I really like him. I think if he goes somewhere and is given the opportunity to be a true number one, I think that he's going to exceed and excel. So I really liked that one, honestly. Now they're stuck with Mark Andrews, and I think they lost Charlie Kohler as well. Wasn't he also a tight end for the Ravens?
Charlie Kohler, let me look that up for
Yeah.
you. I gotta say, as I'm looking this up, the most surprising move to me was I'm honestly a bit surprised that Mike Evans is not gonna be in Tampa anymore. I think it's an amazing pickup for the San Francisco, but I just maybe because there was like some hints and stuff that I think he left his free agent, not free agent, he left his agents like their whole agency. He like let them out of the contract and all that stuff. It's not the best day for Tampa losing him both as a top flight receiver, but I think you still have Emeka Abuko. He's coming in as so he showed he can be, I'm not gonna say a replacement, but someone that you can slot into a number one or number two spot. You still have to deal with the fact that now why am I blanking on number two receiver's name? Oh, son, Tampa's number two receiver.
Oh, Godwin.
Yeah, Chris Godwin. He's a veteran receiver. They're gonna have to make a deal on him, I think next year or the year after his
They
contract's up.
also have McMillan too, who showed flashes last season. And they have Ted Johnson who showed flashes. So if there is a team that can afford to lose a wide receiver one, it's probably that team because they do have a lot of talent and a lot of depth at receiver. So we'll see. Definitely surprising to see him exit. Another one that shocked me was seeing Travis Etienne go to the Saints.
That was insane because you were talking about
Yes.
ETN, like the fact that
Yes,
he's just
him. Yeah, him going to the Saints and Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs were both surprising to me. This ends an 8-year run of Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence playing together, going all the way back to their Clemson days. Personally, I am happy that I don't have to face him anymore because he personally victimized me. But Conlon is now unhappy because now he's in his division, which is like unfortunate because he likes him. And I'm like, well, but I was looking up stuff earlier, and I feel like it really begs the question. So the Saints got ETN, the Chiefs got Kenneth Walker. So who's going to take Jeremiah Love in the draft? Like I know that's not really today's conversation, but those two teams
No,
were they were the top prospects, for Jeremiah Love, and now if either of them took him, it probably would not be a great pick because it's not an area of need anymore. So I'm really curious to see where Jeremiah Love goes. I'm very curious to see that. But I really liked the ETN deal. The Saints, low key, might be the best team in the South next year because if Tyler Shuck continues to play well, they have ETN, they have Olave, they have a decent O line, they have a decent D line. I mean, I still think they need tight end help and, some more receivers, but they're starting to put some pieces around Shuck. I'm really getting the feeling that they believe in him.
so you'll put them in front of Carolina at the moment, is what you're saying. At the moment, at least.
Probably right now, probably. I think that Carolina still needs to add more to their offense, especially at tight end and receiver. Until they do that, I don't know if I'll put them as the best team. The Bucks are also up there as well. I mean, if the Bucks are able to rebound from last year, honestly, the South could be a competitive division next year if Tua can stay healthy and plays
Uh,
well and beats Penix out. I mean, they have a good team as well. So I'll be very interested to watch the NFC South next year. I think it could be more competitive than people think.
Two things quickly. First, yes, you're going back to a past comment. Yes, Charlie Kohler was signed for the Ravens, got signed 3 years, 24.3 million to the Chargers. So no
Yeah,
added, no weapon for Chargers. And also in terms of Tua, so you're assuming that Tua's going to beat out Penix, or at least
I
it,
am.
this is like a There's no guaranteed start right now coming into Atlanta, which
I'm
I
assuming
don't
that
think he
Tua
does.
I'm assuming Tua is going to have the upper hand until Penix gets fully healthy. And if we're being completely honest with ourselves, don't get me wrong, like I didn't really want Tua on the Colts. I think Rowe is one concussion away from being forced to medically retire. However, his best moments are significantly better than Michael Penix's best moments.
Yeah,
So I would be very shocked if they only signed Tua to be a backup. I think that there's going to be a competition there, and it would not surprise me if Tua won that competition out.
you're saying that, but I'm not actually that shocked and he signed them to like a 1 year deal because honestly, I think because Penix is the person they want them to build a future around. The only problem is like he's Mr. Glass. He can't stay
But
healthy. And
here's the thing, the new regime in Atlanta, they don't have any connections to Penix. They didn't draft him.
they
So
didn't,
they are not obligated to say, "Hey buddy, you're going to be the starter when you get healthy." That I mean, this regime is not obligated to that. Stefanski is not obligated to that. So it would not shock me if he started out the season bad and Tua was the backup or something. It would not shock me if Tua took over that job.
I give Tua this that you're right. Tua at his best is a lot better than Penix at his best. The only problem is I just is the health related aspect.
Yeah, that's fair.
As I think to a point into his favor, he does well in warm weather state places or domes. You go into Atlanta, the NFC South doesn't. It's your Tampa, Carolina gets a little cold, but not
You're in a
crazy.
dome.
You're in the dome in Atlanta, so you're playing 8, 9 games a year. So you're in a perfect situation. I just maybe it's just me. I just don't see after giving a guy because you're assuming this would be like a 1 year, kind of like a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield thing back in the day where
It is a 1-year contract, veteran minimum.
like you're like prove it for me. And I just don't think in terms
Hmm.
of if they did that, I would assume they were just. I don't know how what Penix is even thinking at this moment because is he
Well,
just
I was watching the NFL Network earlier, and I believe a reporter mentioned that the team did tell Michael Penix they were going to sign Tua. So I don't think it was something that came as a shock to Michael Penix necessarily. And don't get me wrong, I think Michael Penix deserves a shot. I mean, he's only had really 1 year of sporadic play in between injuries where he's kind of gotten to show what he's gotten and what he's got. You know what I mean? I mean, they picked him in the top 10. You would think they would give him at least 2 years, but it would not shock me if it did not go that way. I think they signed Tua to compete. I don't think they signed Tua to back him up. I think they signed him to compete.
Okay. Now, this is maybe going back in time a little bit, but we'll go try and transition a little bit to more trades. What do you think was the bigger deal? Was it the DJ Moore trade to Buffalo or Trent McDuffie, his trade? Casey moving him.
Gosh, I mean, at least the Bears have other receivers. You know, you have Romo Dunze, who's going to become your de facto one. They have some decent depth there. That was a really big need for the Bills, and they addressed it. I mean, DJ Moore becomes a wide receiver one practically automatically overnight.
I just
It's not
re
really a question.
I, I,
But
I
the
just
Chiefs lost three starters on defense, include even after they traded McDuffie, and McDuffie was probably their best secondary starter. So.
easily.
I don't know. I think that that's a bigger loss for the Chiefs. And they didn't even let him go. They traded him.
But
That
that's
was the crazy thing.
but that's the thing. That's what they did with Tyreek Hill. They
Hmm.
remind me a little bit of the Patriots back, and they would trade a guy a year early instead of like a year too late because they don't want to be in the situation where the Bengals are with Trey Hendrickson, who okay,
Right.
we're getting nothing for him now. He's going to have to sign somewhere. I still think McDuffie to Rams is such a crazy deal because the fact
He
that
got paid too.
he got bank. And the Chiefs got able to get first round pick. Also, because as I was talking, I completely forgot to mention, oh yeah, Max Crosby just is on the Ravens now, which is insane.
Yeah,
But
the Ravens had a great day getting Max Crosby, and then today's been a rough day for the Ravens.
I'll say this, McDuffie, the biggest problem with the Rams at the end of the season last year was the fact that they couldn't stop the defense.
They had
That
no secondary.
it was terrible. It was that's
They almost got beat by
the
Carolina.
only reason the Rams did not win the Super Bowl last year, because I do think if the Rams won that game, they probably beat New England in the Super Bowl. The only reason the Rams didn't win the NFC Championship game is because they just couldn't get out third down. It was third and long, and Seattle would always get first down. So I think getting
Yeah.
McDuffie
They
was
needed secondary bad.
they just want to get someone like just guard JSN, guard whoever, just do your best. Max Crosby on the Ravens. I just love the meme that we put out. Joe Burrow, just like, what what can I do?
Poor Joe Burrow. Bro might request a
A
trade out of
third
Cincinnati now at this
A
rate.
third of the year, you're facing one of the three best pass rushers in all of the NFL.
That's terrible, dude. Poor guy.
Oh man, this is just he's gonna die.
Probably.
Well,
Though they actually are signing defense this year, shockingly. So hey, maybe he won't have to be on the field 2/3 of the game.
like he's not after he gets freaking tossed like a rag doll by Miles Garrett 1 week, TJ Watt the next week, Max Crosby the week after.
True.
Uh,
It's gonna be
but
tough, dude. Especially if
I,
they have divisional games back to back.
I'll say also this in terms of well, first of all, Bo, he's fine. I think he's rumored to be dating Jessica Alba now, so he's good. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
I'm jealous. But in terms of, I think we kind of knew Likely was probably leaving because he wants to be a tight end number one somewhere. And also the fact that the Giants had a lot of money to spend. I'll say this for the Giants. I'm kind of high on the Giants coming to going, depending what they do in the
I
draft.
was high on the Giants before free agency even started. I was high on them last year, even when they sucked, okay?
And then
I've
Matt,
been here. I've been here
and
liking
Matt,
the Giants.
I love Matthew comes in the group chat. I was high on them the moment they drafted Jackson Dole.
Well,
Yeah,
he is the bona fide Giants fan,
but
so that
but
makes sense.
but they have a solid defense. They just honestly just need help in terms of skill position.
They need linebacker.
In ter but in terms of building around basically they just like okay we got Harbaugh, we're building around Dart. Hopefully Scatterboo comes back from his injury. Maybe they could always be a potential to get a running back. They
They
could be
have
the one.
Tyrone Tracy as well, but even after Cam Scatterbo got hurt last year, they still had a top five running offense in football, even after he went down. Personally, I feel like they have way bigger needs than Jeremiah Love, but that's just me.
It's I was just looking at the rest of that division. The Cowboys just made a big trade for another pass rusher, another edge rusher. So I think they after losing Max Crosby, they probably like, okay, this is our backup plan, our third string plan.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that makes sense. I feel
Washington,
like, yeah, go ahead.
I said Washington has lost a lot of their like veterans they signed on the year prior. So like they're trying to who they got? They got like Jake Moody. They extended Traylon Brooks. They gotten some pieces around the edges to help out,
Can we
but
just take a moment to LOL at the Titans for thinking they were going to draft Treylon Burks to replace AJ Brown? Because that
uh,
was the whole point that they drafted him.
look,
Can we
it
just take a moment to LOL? Because I'm LOLing. So can we just
just just your
also
coach, man. Just like I want
in,
to laugh
in
at
the
Titans.
I know in the same vein as of LOLing at other teams, I feel like we need to mention Minka Fitzpatrick being traded to the Jets for a seventh round pick
I I don't mind.
after you guys traded him.
Yeah,
And then he gets traded for a seventh. Bro is probably crying.
yeah. He's just like, oh, I can't get worse than Miami. You're going to the Jets. Dang it.
Well, I spoke too soon.
I'm sad because I like Minka. Minka was one of my favorite players the past like 5, 6 years in Pittsburgh. My other brother, he's a Jets fan. He's like 4-7, fine, I'll take it. I know Minka. Like,
Yeah, I would have done it for a seventh. I mean, we have
oh,
four sevenths this year, so what the heck? But yeah, I feel like, I feel like this is the moment where we got to really kind of explore and dive into the Pittsburgh Indianapolis saga
oh,
that went down today.
oh,
It's like
that
the NFL was like, "Oh, Daniel and Chelsea, they're going to be real busy on the pod tonight after all that."
Pittsburgh went. I'll say this: Pittsburgh not rebuilding. They're not thinking, okay, we're just going to tank and maybe get. No,
They are not.
they are just saying we're signing Asante Samuel. We're getting Michael Pittman from the Colts. We're getting we're going. Who else do they got? They got Rico Dotto from the Panthers. They just like
Jamal Dean as well.
Jamal Dean
Jamel
from.
Dean. Yep.
They are just like, and the thing is,
They're not playing around,
they don't
man.
have a quarterback. They still don't have a quarterback. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is
You
doing.
have Will Howard.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Good point. Um, I'm watching this trade for AR-15 now.
Oh my gosh. Don't. But yeah, no, I mean, just kind of looking at that deal with Pierce, it was the first really big deal that dropped today. Like it was literally like 10 minutes after free agency opened
Alec, was it
that
one
it dropped.
four
Yeah,
years?
so it's 4 years, $116 million. I think 84 of it is guaranteed. I screamed. Yes,
No,
because they were like,
you
"Oh,
scream.
breaking news. If you're an Indianapolis fan, you'll be happy." And I said, don't don't lead me astray, NFL Network. And they were like, "Oh, Pierce." I was like, "Yes." Now, don't get me wrong. I do think it's an overpay by a little bit.
But you're not paying for a
That,
quarterback.
but that's the reality of free agency. I mean, you're not going to get anyone for a reasonable price unless they really want to come to you. And the thing about it is that Alec Pierce, I read a report that apparently this deal was done a couple of days ago before free agency even opened, which is interesting because that, leads you to believe that more likely than not, they are working with Daniel Jones as well, which ended up coming out that they are trying to work on an extension for him. Alec Pierce talked a lot about one of the appealing reasons of staying in Indianapolis is because of Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones left, I think Pierce would have left as well. But he got on the Pat McAfee show and was like, "Man, I just really like the city. I really believe we were the best team in football at one point in the season, which we were. I mean, no one can argue that. Statistically speaking, we were before it all fell apart.
Yeah.
But he actually ended up taking a little bit of a hometown discount. I think his deal comes out to like 29 million APY a year. If he had gone somewhere else, he definitely would have eclipsed 30 million. So, we did get a bit of a discount. It's a lot of money, but they traded Pittman to the Steelers, late round draft pick swap to clear up some cap. Alec Pierce is the undisputed wide receiver one in Indianapolis. He is getting paid wide receiver one money. I saw a report that they are expecting him to get 8 to 10 targets a game. If you're the wide receiver one, I need you getting at least 80 yards a game. At least. as a wide receiver one. And they're going to have other weapons in that offense. I mean, this moves Josh Downs up to wide receiver 2, who honestly I think had some opportunity taken from him that he didn't deserve. I think he's going to be a really good slot 2, kind of channeling his inner T.Y. Hilton, back in the day in the early 2010s. So I like that. We obviously have a great running back, a good offensive line, a blossoming and high quality, going into second year tight end. We just need a wide receiver 3 now. So we're probably going to end up drafting someone. But I did really like the Alec Pierce deal. I was going to be way more upset if we lost him than if we lost Daniel Jones. I don't know about you, Daniel, but when the report came out earlier today that the Colts offered Daniel Jones a 3-year deal at like $35 million a year and his team rejected it, asking for $50 million a year, I laughed out loud. I'm like, brother, I would love to have you back.
You,
I am not paying you $50 million a year.
you,
I'm sorry.
you
At
called.
that rate,
I
just
said,
give me Kyler or Mac Jones. Like, I'm not paying you $50 million a year. It's not happening.
you
But they
called.
have to have
Oh,
something in the
dang,
works.
you kept stepping on. I say they call you Danny Dimes, not Danny Dollars.
Yeah, $50 million.
You
No, no. I like him.
don't love him.
Indianapolis revived his career. $50 million. I'm sorry. But they have to have something in the works because, like I mentioned earlier, Alec Pierce, one of the primary reasons he wanted to stay was because of Daniel Jones. And that leads me to believe that they are working on a long term extension that they believe is going to get done. So we're going to be running it back. I really would love to see Alec Pierce blossom again this year. He's going to be getting wide receiver 1 touches. He's going to be getting wide receiver 1 money. He has no excuse to not put up those numbers with what he is getting paid. It's the most expensive wide receiver contract in free agency history. So don't disappoint me, Alec. I really like you. But, bye, Pittman. I really liked you. He was with the Colts for 6 years. He was very consistent. He
Yeah,
has great hands. He just wasn't living up to his contract. It's kind of what it came down to. So I really would have preferred to keep him, but he's just not as dynamic as Pierce is. And I think Pierce has that unique ability to really stretch the field on a consistent basis. So it was sad to lose Pittman. I do think he's going to be good with Pittsburgh, though.
it
I
just
mean,
depends.
DK and Pittman, and get some depth guys. I think he'll be a solid 2 behind DK in Pittsburgh.
It just depends on who's going to be the quarterback. Because I think with two veteran receivers, that this would be a time for Rodgers to come back. But
I thought it was reported he was more likely than not coming back. Is that not the
I
case?
don't know what this guy is thinking. Like, I don't know. He's probably took an ayahuasca trip out in Oregon or something with RFK
Maybe he's in
Jr.
Hawaii in a cave.
Yeah, maybe he's. I know he's not in Pittsburgh. I know he's not in the locker room. I know he's not watching. He's not like watching films with his new receivers and stuff. I hope he comes back just because there's not really much left in terms of free agency. And I do think if you have him on the team, that's their best chance to probably repeat. That's definitely your best chance of repeating as at least division champions. I still don't think they. I still think Baltimore at this point is easily the favorite, but I don't think Cincinnati's done enough. It's really. I don't see. I don't see Cleveland. It just depends on how good Shador is, because their defense is still stout.
Or one of their other 5
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
or how good Dylan
Deshaun
Gabriel is.
Watson,
Oh,
Dylan Gabriel.
I legit forgot about Deshaun Watson. Wow,
He still exists.
yeah.
Yeah, I that's my reaction as well. What did you think of the Jalen Naylor deal to the Raiders? I was reading comments from
Uh,
Vikings fans talking about that, and some of them were like, "No." And I was like, "Is he really worth $35 million dollars?"
he is when you're about to sign a rookie quarterback and you're gonna pay him rookie
Well,
quarterback money.
yes, that's fair.
You got.
It'll be interesting to see him in with the Raiders, though. I'll be interested to see what kind of role he takes in that offense.
I'll say this: you got. I was looking more at the Tyler Linderbaum deal, 3 years, 81 million. You get yourself
It's a really good deal.
a really good center. Have him behind and has him in front of Mendoza. Naylor's a weapon on the outside. You got two first-round picks for this year and next year from Baltimore and the Max Crosby deal. The Raiders definitely want to make. They're doing the classic strategy of trying to set the table up for your coming in rookie quarterback.
Right.
Hoping that he doesn't. Hoping they just don't be the Titans last year, which is like, oh, Cam Ward, what's my team? This. Oh God,
Right.
no. Oh God,
No,
no.
the Tyler Linderbaum deal is a really good signing for them. Of all of their signings, I think that that one is the best, and I don't think it's an argument because your O line starts with your center. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
don't have a stout center, you're going to have issues just across the board. And he's been really good with Lamar. So I really liked that deal. It was a 3-year deal for $81 million. I guess people will argue that it's an overpay, but I really like that deal. That they needed O-line bad for Mendoza, and they needed it bad for their running back as well. Because I think Ashton Jeanty is a really good running back. I think the team was just so bad last year, he couldn't make any space for himself. So that's a really big signing for Mendoza. That takes their O-line a long way. So that I really liked that signing for the Raiders. That was probably one of my favorite signings. I can't be watching my guy on the ground every play. I mean, come on, guys. Get my man some protection.
Yeah, I think he just he had nothing last year in terms of protection. Transition now a little bit to some of the people who are still left in free agency. You still got Tyreek Hill on the market. You still have Trey Hendrickson. You still have Jawan Taylor. You still have, of course, the biggest thing is Kyler Murray, which I was assuming that Minnesota would just pick him up the first day of free agency. It seemed like the two of them had a lot of interest with each other. Maybe that'll be the
Feels like
case,
there's multiple teams duking it out
but I feel like
behind the scenes.
But I feel like Minnesota's the best team in terms of if you want to
Oh, I
have
agree.
if you want to have a successful continue on career, this is the best situation you have in.
Yeah.
They just rehabbed Sam Darnold 2 years ago.
They need to shell out some money and get him because whoever, once Kyler Murray is off the board, the quarterback pickings are very slim. Assuming Daniel Jones comes back to Indianapolis, I mean, who's the next best quarterback? Mac Jones? Someone like that? I mean,
Um, Let me just look it up. I have the free agency tracker up at the moment. Who's the quarterback still left over? You still have uh, Aaron Rodgers, which again, I think Rodgers wanted to go to Minnesota last year. So if Rodgers decided if
that would
Minnesota
be funny if that happened.
he was just done the full Brett Favre. Minus
Yep.
the 1 year in Pittsburgh, he just did the full Brett
Minus
Favre.
the Jets. Or I guess he was on the
No,
Jets.
yeah,
Never
Favre
mind.
was on the
But
Jets.
Favre wasn't on Pittsburgh, though.
No, that's it. You have to subtract the Pittsburgh gear. But you
Yeah.
got Rodgers, you
That
still
would be
have
funny.
Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson. Aside, you got Flacco. Flacco could be a choice.
Flacco is suitable. If he has a good team around him, he's fine.
Flacco showed last year that like give me a top flight wide receiver and a really good number two. I can
Who
make
else
magic
is
happen.
left?
You still got Carson Wentz, who was respectable at least in Minnesota. Jimmy G is still around. Tyrod Taylor's a
No.
vet.
No.
Again, there's not the best situation you have right now is Kyler,
Kyler
Rodgers,
far and
and
away. I mean, Kirk Cousins is still available, I guess.
but yeah, but Cousin Cousins is in a situation like Russ is where he's kind of a few years past his prime. I
Oh, I
think,
don't disagree. I'm just saying, in comparison to other guys, that he's a better
oh
option.
yeah, and compared to like Skylar Thompson, yeah, I would take Cousins.
Mac Jones a free agent?
I'm not seeing him, so I guess he still has a year
Hmm.
left, or he's been signed already.
I don't
Um,
think he's been signed. Maybe it would have to be someone you'd
it,
trade for.
which he has. I don't think San Francisco traded him away because you want to have a good backup, especially with San Francisco's luck. You definitely want to
Yeah.
have a solid backup quarterback. But
See, I think so talking about positions of need, there are still some pretty good O linemen left. I believe like Elijah Vera Tucker, I believe, is still available. A couple of guys like that. Thought it was very interesting to watch the Patriots trade away their center after all of the offensive line issues they had in the Super Bowl. So, not really sure why the Patriots haven't gone out and signed any O-line help yet, but they probably need to get on that. They were also in the running for Alec Pierce and did not land him. So,
I think the Patriots they signed right now. Yeah, they only signed
they
the
need
bet
O-line help.
they
They've
they
lost O-line help.
they better be building a draft then. It sounds better be getting someone in the draft.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because the best linemen right now are Jawan Taylor from KC, Tyler Decker from Detroit,
Trent
Brent.
Williams is apparently a trade option. That
That's
would be
go
crazy.
that'd be an expensive trade though. That's gonna be
Mm.
at least one first rounder and maybe multiple second,
Honestly, I
third
feel like
rounders.
Vera Tucker is probably the best option at this point.
They still got the Colts guy, Brandon Smith, on the right
Hmm.
tackle. He's still on the
He just
market.
has injury issues, but when he
Hmm.
plays, he's good.
So yeah, I guess like yeah, I guess in terms of needs, the Patriots definitely have a big need, a big glaring question mark. Seattle gets the same way because Seattle's just got to find a new running back. You gotta get someone
I
playing.
guess Charbonnet, does he become their starter now?
Charbonnet still towards ACL in the playoffs, so even if he comes back, he's not. It's going to take him at least a few weeks for him to get back up and
So you're
running.
telling me the Seahawks are trading up for Jeremiah Love?
That would be hilarious. I would
That would be
actually.
crazy.
But no, we still got a bunch of high profile free agents out here.
Did you see Brees Hall on Twitter? You know, the Jets were going and signing all these people, and Brees Hall was like, "Sure is a lot of money that we have on
I
this team."
I need to
And I'm
start.
like, "Dude, shut up, bro. Just
No, no, I get
pipe
it.
down, dude."
I get it. I'm a running back on the Jets. I'm a running back in the NFL on the New York Jets. I need to make my money. Enough with this franchise tag stuff. Enough with
Still though, I
give me a
mean, come
long
on,
deal.
man.
I like trotros like that where it's just like you clearly are elbowing your team just like pay me what I am worth
Yeah, fair.
or trade me.
Yeah, kind of transitioning to another team that really needs to make some additions is the Eagles. The Eagles lost three starters on defense: Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, and Reed Blankenship. They extended Jordan Davis, which I liked. They have not signed anyone. And there's a bunch of talk that AJ Brown is going to get traded. That's what Patriots fans want. They want the Eagles to trade AJ
Yeah.
Brown to them. They haven't done anything. They're off. Their defense is falling apart. I mean, I know Jalen Phillips wasn't their primary pass rusher, but Nakobe Dean was a starter, and Reed Blankenship was definitely a very popular player there and a starter who
And you
went to
still
the
have,
Texans, by the way. That's
and
a
you still,
really good signing by the Texans.
and you still have Dallas Goedert. Goedert was probably your most reliable pass catcher last year. So
I guess their tight end would be Calcaterra or whatever his name is.
it's not looking good for say brotherly love right now.
Yeah, no, that they're looking tough right now, and I feel like that's very out of the ordinary from the Eagles because I think Howie Roseman is one of the best GMs in football. So either Howie Roseman is scheming, or all the players they've been in the mix for have gotten picked up by other teams. I
or
just feel
he
like it's very strange to see them not having really done anything because he's always in the mix, especially on day one.
or he's just saying back like I know George is about to give us some great stars. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's been yeah. I feel like as soon as we get this episode posted, there's gonna be like 20 other free agents to sign at this
I
point.
know.
But it's nothing
I
we do.
know.
We doesn't. It's crazy. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just I didn't think free agency would explode this much, and it always comes up
Yeah.
surprised. But
I feel like we got to round the episode out with the Titans, hiring Robert Saleh on as their head coach. I think every player that Robert Saleh has touched somehow in his career in free agency has signed with that team. Like Daniel Bellinger got him from the Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson, or not, it's Brian Dable is his OC, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So you have Bellinger and Wandale coming. You have John Franklin Myers, who played for the Jets. You have Cordell Flott, who played for the Giants.
he
So it's
li
like all the players in New York are like heading out to Tennessee, apparently.
he likes what he likes.
Yeah,
He
fair
likes,
point.
and I know you like what we like, audience and viewers. And you want to get more free agency news, NFL free agency news, trade news, draft news. You know where to find us on Lodge Coast Football. Chelsea, tell us where they can find us.
Yeah, thanks guys for tuning in this week. Tune back in next week. We'll probably work on recapping free agency. So in the meantime, follow us on our social media. We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football. We are on Twitter at Launch Codes FB. And with all of the excitement going on in the league right now, if you guys are interested in joining our chat BCC group to talk all things NFL football, hit us up and we can get you that link. In the meantime, I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week.
And once again, happy birthday.